Therapy. Does it work? Spoiler alert, the answer is sometimes. Salutations, friends. My name is Brianna Bond, otherwise known as No Ordinary Scholar, and I know that some of the things I write, some of the videos I make, can give off the impression that I am against, don't appreciate, or discourage people from taking therapy. But that's not the case. Therapy can be extremely useful for some people, but that's just not always what someone needs. And for clarification, I'm really just speaking in terms of depression. But I mean, not everyone needs to go to the hospital when they have a common cold. If you do, it's likely because of a much bigger issue. But a lot of people can handle that kind of situation at home. And whenever someone does need to go to the hospital, they can go to their doctor or they go to the emergency room. But it's a case-by-case situation because it depends on the person and the circumstances. What I mean to say is I believe there is a line to be drawn on what depressive symptoms are caused by ongoing environmental occurrences that can be changed and things that are out of every party's control. Imagine if you took someone suffering from abusive spouse syndrome, the disorder you would most associate with someone who constantly forgives an abusive loved one. You take that person and you get them to doctors and they give them the best pills, the best help a doctor can provide. But at the end of it all, they just send them back to their abusive spouse. Do you honestly think that person is going to stay healthy, or do you think they're going to relapse? Relapse being defined as going back to bad behavior. The environment someone exists in is going to have a massive impact on their ability to recover. And in some cases, if not all at an early enough stage, it would be immensely helpful if the individuals in a person's life are able to determine their impact and work to be a better component, whether that means being a constant companion or knowing their limitations. An actual example of this dealing with depression would be, say I don't actually feel like my friends are trying to be there for me, that they say we're like family just so they have a last resort when everyone else is busy. My doctor is trying to convince me that it's all in my head, assuring me that if I give my friends the chance, they'll step up. But what if that person continues bailing on me every time I need them? Or worse, pushing me away by telling me to go talk to the doctor whenever I try to talk to them. And I said pushing me away because that's what it feels like. Like they're throwing the hot potato, so it's the doctor's problem now. And I know I said feel, so you might assume that it was all in my head. But what if it wasn't? Because I've been in this situation before, and after so much time of just taking it from this friend of mine, the issue came up, and he admitted that he knew what he was doing to me. But then he still didn't stop. So what was I supposed to do? What pill am I supposed to take when my situation is exactly as bad as I think it is? Further, what is a doctor supposed to do when they just make things worse by being there? Because this is another issue that I have. I am extremely lonely. I don't have family and I have a really hard time getting friends to stick around. I want these things, but it hurts so much every time they leave, and so far, they always leave. So going to therapy, I was very aware of the money that was required to keep this person around, and it made me feel lonelier. And that's not something a doctor can help you with because therapy is about 1 hour in a week. After that, I go home alone with no one to talk to, no one to call, no one to make sure that any new medications didn't have a fatal side effect. So I need a strong social unit way before I need a therapist. And I know I keep talking about myself, but I like to think that if I'm 1 in a million, then there's 100,000 other people similar enough to me for these words to mean something. And with suicide rates rising the way that they are, I don't see why I can't try to help. Thank you so much for listening. I know I got a little emotional there. I promise it's not the last time. If you want to hear more from me, hit the subscribe button, as well as check out my Instagram, Facebook, and nomoreordinaryscholar.com, all of which are going to be linked in the description. And if you really like what's going on here, please consider checking out my Patreon account. But until next time, valedictions, friends.